Wow, that is mind-blowing right there. The story by Seth and Michael Rothstein called Inside the Short Unhappy Life of the Alliance of American Football is on ESPN.com. A must-read, folks. Trust me. We got Seth here with us right now. So, look, Seth, let's talk about this. There was all this talk about when the league failed, all the pointing of fingers, who was at fault. Take us inside that discussion. You talked to Ebersol, you talked to others, of what that process was like.
Yeah, the process was chaotic. But at the end of the day, you saw the information on there on Reggie Fowler. I don't think they ever recovered from it. At the end of the day, they had to go against Vince McMahon, reported $500 million he was putting behind the XFL. They had nowhere near that money. And so they had to take the deal that Reggie offered. It looked good at the time. Charlie Ebersol said that he vetted it. His lawyers vetted it. He had Fowler meet with board members, executives, even his dad. But at the end of the day, he didn't come through with the money when he was supposed to, and they were never really able to recover from that.
Wow. And what did Dundon say to you about his business decision to get involved with this?
Well, look, the lore of spring football is one of those things, as you said, a couple minutes ago. It's one of those things that people can't resist, right? It has to work. This is a
seasoned businessman. He knows how the leagues work. I mean, he's got his due diligence. What happened there?
Well, he told a confidant that it was a stupid decision. He said he didn't do enough due diligence. And, again, Charlie Ebersol had done, it was miraculous that he got the league off the ground. And that's the hard part. And I think Dundon was intrigued by this, and he thought, hey, look, if we can get a partnership with the NFL to be a true developmental league, or if we can get a broadcast deal that's not a time buy, which is what those were, then this thing might have a shot. And it was only when he got into it that he realized that the finances were way out of whack. He thought that they spent too much money on coaches and players, and he didn't see this thing succeeding.
Now, one thing you highlight in your article is some of the cultural differences between guys like Ebersol, other guys like Bill Polian. Talk about that, specifically one example around the draft.
Well, so they're at the NFL Combine in 2018, and they are nervous because the league hasn't launched yet. They're trying to keep it secret. So they have Bill was working for us at the time, doing draft stuff all day long. They go to a private room at a restaurant. It turns out the private room is surrounded by glass. They throw a fit. They go to a different place. So they sit down and they start talking about ideas for the inaugural AAF draft. The first idea that Polian has is for it to be like the USFL, which is where he worked, where teams hold the territorial rights to players. So Rick Neuheisel and Charlie Ebersol, though, have a different idea where they want the players who are in demand to be able to pick their teams. And Polian's tired. He's just like, what? And Neuheisel, they say it's like The Voice. And he's just like, the what?
That did not go over well.
Neuheisel says it's the greatest show. You have these red chairs, and they turn around when they hear the voice that they like, but the singers can pick who they want to coach them. And Polian was tired. He was irritable. Rick Schaefer, who was there, who was the senior counsel to the AAF, said you could see the steam coming out of his ears. And Polian just says, I can't take any more of this. And the discussion ended there about what kind of draft they would have.
Oh, my goodness. Couple seconds left. How close were they really to becoming a developmental league for the NFL?
Not close.
Yeah.
I think they hoped they were closer than they were. Yeah. But at the end of the day, they were talking about unprecedented language that would go into the collective bargaining agreement that might have taken months or years to get in. The NFLPA didn't want to do it. They felt like, look, you're talking about playing during our offseason. For NFL players to play in the spring, that's the offseason that we fought so hard to get them for. And if they get hurt, who's going to, that could hurt their NFL careers.
It was going to be a tough sell no matter what.
And the NFL, meanwhile, is like, this isn't something that we do often because we can't be seen favoring one of these leagues over another due to antitrust law. So,
well, you know what? I don't think we've seen the last of Charlie Ebersol, but this is a great piece. Thank you so much,
Thanks, man.
Seth.